Awesome possum. Oh yeah. Pretty much just chilling. See what's going on here. That was 2 months ago. Worst commentary creator. Let's see here. Oh, there I am live. Oh, I can keep informed and or informing. All that wonderful stuff. What's up? Potentially, why what's up? Why what's up?
Do you have any garbage?
Not really.
Because there is space open up for garbage can.
That's the only thing I have right there.
Alright.
Everything else I have, well, it's been a mission. Oh my god.
Oh, they sell for garbage cans.
Thank you, Gregor.
No
It's very much appreciated. Is there anything new? What kind of filters do I get today? Because we all just love drama, don't we? Isn't drama just amazing? Oh, I was going to do an emoji. A weird thing. Leafy is here. I hate Leafy. Hey. Ugh. There we go.
Actually, DMs have leaked between him and H3 where they are shit talk.
That's a really quick one.
Welcome back to Slop Live. Hot off the press today, there's a big Leafy drama. Recently, very recently actually, DMs have leaked between him and H3 where they are shit-talking Pyro, among other things. H3 claims that Pyro shouldn't have a platform. Leafy also insults him back. But yeah, there's been a big drama.
Oh, this is some Dark Soul? No, that's the game. It's Leafy. It's like, who the hell is Leafy?
Because H3's YouTube's golden boys now been exposed shit-talking somebody. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Oh. Are there any comments on this thing? I need to know more. I don't even know what of it. Hey, mister, how's it going? Don't mind me. I'm just casually going through YouTube, looking for interesting stuff. So I'm just siphoning from today's dramas. So far I only found some shit about Leafy, whoever Leafy is. With some chill ass background music. It's not really chill though. And some burgers too. Well, I want to try, but I gotta find interesting stuff to be entertaining, otherwise who wants to watch me, right? I'll probably have to, and of course, staying up to date is obviously important, and I really hate my day job also. Do you know who Leafy is? I might check out some Keffa too. The rise and fall of Leafy is here, from YouTube bully to banned. That was 2 years ago. Destiny versus Leafy. 3 weeks ago, YouTubers destroyed by their fame.
YouTubers are just regular people, catapulted into fame and fortune by their fans who appreciate their personalities. Because of that, they're willing to watch ads, buy merchandise, run fandom accounts, and more in the name of their online personality of choice. But what happens when the content creator accidentally makes himself popular with an audience of people they didn't intend to target? Or worse yet...
Hey, mister, what are just some of the names that have fallen just this year? Like, fallen from grace just from this year.
What if they're not fit, mentally or otherwise, to have that audience? Today, we'll explore the complicated relationship between creators and their fame. Though nowadays he's known almost exclusively as Georgie, before Japanese-Australian singer-songwriter George Miller made waves with his music, he was terrorizing the internet as his completely brand unsafe alter ego, Filthy Frank. Beginning all the way back in 2011 with a simple and pretenseless upload titled Filthy Shit. To say that Frank had one of the most successful and influential runs as a content creator is downplaying it. While edginess has been around forever on the internet, Frank was primarily held responsible for helping it crystallize on YouTube. Many people described what he was doing as bringing the kind of humor popular on the B-board of 4chan to a YouTube audience. Basically, if you were there in 2016, when people were regularly joking about ending their whole shit, you had one guy to thank. In many ways, he walked so that others could run. His earlier content consisted of a lot of yelling, embarrassing himself in public.
Oh, that dude? Oh my god.
Ism known to man. His later content was all of those things, but with more production value. In a way, being repelling in every way possible.
Oh my god, that's him with hair?
That it really stood out when he made content that was remotely palatable for mainstream audiences. It might surprise some to discover that he originated the "Do the Harlem Shake" meme in 2013. Regardless of how bad taste or indecent his humor got, every upload consistently racked up millions of views. So much that TV Filthy Frank, the channel that George operated for the brunt of his prime years, now boasts a total
that's right,
of
that was
over
his name,
1
Filthy
billion
Frank,
views.
right?
As followers of the content piled on in astounding numbers,
Jesus.
a lot of unwanted
Would you
attention
trust
came
that
along
dude?
with it. Namely, people that were either too obtuse or too young to see the channel and the content for what it was, purely comedic. Partly because of this, it felt necessary for there to be a debrief and explanation in the channel's About section, which read, "Filthy Frank is the embodiment of everything a person should not be. He is anti-PC, anti-social, and anti-couth. He behaves and reacts excessively to everything, expressly to highlight the ridiculousness of racism, misogyny, legalism, injustice, ignorance, and other social blights. He also sets an example to show how easy it is in social media for any zany material to gain traction/followings by simply sharing unsavory opinions and joking about topics many find offensive. There's no denying that the show is terribly offensive, but this terrible offensiveness is a deliberate and unapologetic parody of the whole social media machine and a reflection of the human microcosm that social media is. Or maybe I'm just fucking retarded. Despite this disclaimer seemingly softening the blow, the content itself remained pretty rough around the edges well into the late 2010s. Honestly, it's surprising it lasted as long as it did. Unlike many other instances where people dabble in offensive and sensitive topics and get banned for it, Frank left the platform of his own accord, much to the dismay of the extremely loyal following he had built up. While it initially puzzled a few of the watchers who didn't see it coming, the seeds for the disbandment of the Filthy Frank identity had been sown a long time before the prospect of a professional music career was on George's horizon. In 2014, Frank released a now-deleted video to his old account, Disaster Music, called Filthy Frank Exposes Himself, where he appears as George, no character, and explains his reasons for why the content slowed down.
So I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I have not been well the last couple months. Long story short, I was born with this, but I was recently diagnosed with a brain condition
Oh my
that
god.
ironically gives me seizures. You know, this whole time we thought it was so funny doing these fake seizures, and now some call it bad luck, some call it karma, but ironically, both
That's life seizing
Besides
upon you.
juggling the show with his college
Damn,
assignments
look
and
at that.
evening
Holy
jobs,
shit.
He reveals he'd also been struggling with a neurological problem that caused him to have stress-induced seizures. In the same video, he mentions that some of his viewers might get upset that he broke the fourth wall to inform them of his health concerns, once again signaling a potential divide between him and his fan base. Years later, in an exchange he had on his personal Twitter account, George says, "So I act out some cringe upload, bounce. Same old cycle for now. Admittedly, some are passion projects forced through the FF character. When asked by his fans if he loved what he did, he said, "It doesn't really matter. That's how the world is, hun. It's just a big ball of poop, and you will find out sooner or later."
So
This
Filthy,
despondent
is he doing
attitude
videos
about the
still?
content was a bit of a shock to the fans who cherished it. At this point, he was already laying the groundwork to bridge the Filthy Frank show and his interest in making music, mainly through Pink Guy's music projects, which were becoming bigger and more ambitious. This transition also coincided with YouTube's first adpocalypse, and as you can imagine, it wasn't looking good for his channel, considering the caliber of content it was chock full of. Not only that, but the cultural climate was rapidly shifting from one that was okay with edgier content to one that saw it as the potential promotion of bigotry and prejudice, which again the channel was rife with, albeit in a comedic context. These tweets preceded the actual end of the show by a whole 2 years. It was
Why
only
there's
in
so many
2018
female
that the
YouTubers
cost of
that are
being
grooming?
Filthy Frank became too much to afford, given that the
is
benefits
with
were
that?
steadily declining and on their way to being non-existent. Along with a video officially declaring it to be over, George tweeted an explanation that read, "I believe an official statement as to why I'm now done with comedy is owed to my former fan base, of which I'm extremely grateful for. And while it genuinely pains me to express this, I do hope that the reasons below may provide some insight into my decision. Unfortunately, I no longer enjoy producing that content. Several serious health concerns, including but not limited to throat tissue damage and neurological conditions that I prefer not to get into. This decision is final. I really can't express just how grateful I am to all of you, nor will I ever forget the relationship
Behold
we had
carbonated
together.
water
Moving forward, it is up to you whether you'd like to join or not. In any event, I will strive to continue creating and developing projects I'm passionate about and hope you'll succeed in doing the same." In another post, he said, "At the end of the day, I'd like you to know that I'm truly sorry for disappointing you. I do want to clarify that tending to severe health issues does not equate to abandonment. Please do not internalize the repercussions of my health issues.
There needs to be
I'm
a
not following dreams here. I am following neurologist order. This is about livelihood.
moratorium
I only want
of
to live a long,
all the
happy, and
YouTubers
healthy life, and I
that
pray
failed
each of
this
you are able
year
to do
and
the
just
same.
do like just the
Despite how
whole thing.
career-endingly controversial his run as Filthy Frank was, George managed to launch his music career into the stratosphere with ease. Partly this was because of how clean-cut his departure from the Filthy Frank brand was, but also because a substantial amount of Frank fans already wanted him to
So he
focus on
killed
the
his
Joji
brand?
projects, even if they came at the behest of the end of Frank. Since his shift into exclusively working on music, he's published 3 studio albums and accrued
Japanese
over 1
songwriter.
billion views on YouTube. A pretty impressive feat, if I may say
So
so
this was
myself.
destroyed
But
by their
despite how
fame.
well-received
But it
Joji
doesn't
was
say
by his
that they're
original
very
fan base, some
controversial.
newcomers who were
So,
just stumbling
does
into his
Turkey
music
Tom
for the first
do-
time were
does he
shocked to
do-
find out what George was up to before becoming
Does
a
he do like
musician.
any like videos on like the downfall of like YouTubers, like some of the ones you mentioned? YouTube's darkest kids content. What the fudge? I don't know who Adam22 is, but wait. You said whatever. Well, Colleen, she's still doing videos, right? Most hated comedians of all time. Who's Bam Margera? Oh, he also covered EDP, huh? What's with that? What happened to Joe Rogan? He's a oh. Oh, really? Sounds like a sick bastard.
Dis-
Oh, that was 5 days ago by Tom Dark.
So last time I covered Adam22, which was like, I don't know, a few days ago, I talked about how his wife is now doing adult videos with other men, particularly this friendly gamer named Jason who decided
Blair.
to bless her with his presence.
I'm shy. Oh my god.
And Adam was okay with this. And the reason we know is because he talked about it in like 5 different clips about how he loves that his wife is taking her career to the next step, and
Oh, damn,
she's going
look
to be
at
in that
that.
next league of just getting dominated. Sorry, of
Excuse me.
dominating her field of choice, which is,
Oh,
you know,
why
as
not?
I said, adult videos.
You guys, my husband finally gave me my wedding gift, and
The
he's
cucking
here
you?
right now.
Oh my god.
Congratulations.
This is a good gift.
Oh my god, is it
Well, now
about
that
to go
Lena is
down
about to
live
be
on
spit
YouTube?
roasted on video in the next few days, there are a ton of videos and memes coming out talking about this. As Adam predicted, like, yeah, him letting his wife, who he married 1 month ago, sleep with other men on video, has led to a lot of people clowning him, especially because he initially blew up in the rap world, and a lot
Is
of
his
those
wife
dudes are not
Franco?
cool with this kind of new-age relationship stuff.
The reason why I didn't want her to do it was not because of my own personal jealousy or anything like that. It was really just the fact that I didn't want to be the guy who got roasted on the internet that week.
I mean, DaBaby, one of the bigger
Didn't wanna be
rappers
that
of the
guy
last
to get
5 years or
attention?
so, was not even cool with gay people particularly, okay? What makes
Oh
you
my
think a lot of
God.
these fans are going to be totally down with your wife banging other dudes on camera while you watch?
I'm
Well, this
sorry.
has led to the entire internet
got a wife, ain't no one
relentlessly
touching her
mocking
on
Adam.
camera.
Like, this picture has 70,000 likes, and Adam, like, isn't even in it himself. It's basically just calling him a loser, making fun of his marriage, without actually putting him in the image. That's how big this meme has gotten. 70,000 people knew that this meme was about Adam22 without a picture of him. This has gone beyond anything Adam has done in popularity in quite a while, so literally everyone is weighing in on this. Unfortunately, it's also led to a lot of people lying about him on Twitter with no backlash, which happens a lot in these scenarios where basically, like, you have one criticism that's genuine, and then, like, 30 other bullshit ones just get piled on top, which are honestly mostly
Days
constituted
before he
with lies.
allowed her to
At least
film a
according to
sex
Adam, this
scene
seems to
with
be one of
another
those.
man?
Like, this meme has 70,000 likes and is basically just calling Adam a loser, making fun of his marriage. That is insane. Adam22 got face tattoos and a
Why?
porn star wife, but he calls black culture degenerate. I have yet to see any evidence he actually said anything like this. Regardless, it seems that Black Twitter has officially weighed in on the situation, and they're not too happy about Adam John Grand Mason's takes.
Why
and,
is he
and
sharing his
relationship.
wife?
I'll buy you a nice, a better Christmas present so that you don't have to take any black this year.
Oh my gosh! But what if it was a white? You seem so intimidated by the black.
I
guy.
don't care if it, what color. I was just saying black because that's what he's talking
Say
about.
it again, man.
He's just selling
Say
his
what?
wife?
What
the
flavor
hell?
are you into?
What flavor are
I'm
you into?
Only into one flavor, baby.
I'm only. Oh my god, that was her. Oh my god.
Now, the question I asked last time is how this would affect Adam's career. Well, to be honest, while a lot of people are clowning on him, calling him a loser, myself included, it's also done a lot to help his career, and he's taking advantage of it. At least it's done a lot to help one side of his career, because, you know, on one hand, everyone in the YouTube world, everyone in, like, the content creation world outside of PORN is bullying him relentlessly. Meanwhile, everyone on the inside of that thinks it's cool. They don't see it as gross or disgusting at all. They don't see it as weird because they all do the same exact thing, right? And so now he's basically just making bait tweet after bait tweet to get attention, so people will bully him. They'll give him likes and attention and then a bunch of replies, right? Everyone's got
Oh,
their
I didn't
eyes
know
on
he
him.
was
And then
a
he
porn
can plug
star.
his OnlyFans right after, which basically gets people to, you know, in theory anyway, subscribe to him. Curious how much that's actually translating into sales for him, but yeah. It's officially been a week since I let my wife do a video with another guy. I felt a little jealous at first.
It's
but
officially been a
overall,
week.
It wasn't that big a deal. She's watched me sleep with hundreds of girls, and it's never affected our
Oh my
relationship.
God.
Sleeping with that gentleman, bro, that gentleman, did you have to say gentleman, has been amazing for both her career and our business at Plug Talk Show. Overall, I'm glad
Dude,
we did
how
it.
do you
I'm
let
happy to
another
report
dude
her
screw
lady
your
part has
wife?
returned to its original pre-BBC size. Bro, no! Do not... Bro, stop! Stop! Stop. I know he like wrote this on purpose, but this is not good. I don't even want to imagine the mental turmoil and torture that must go through your mind when typing something like this. I would rather be waterboarded in Guantanamo Bay for
Even
a
the
year
cucks
straight
are
than have
mocking
this
Adam.
be my everyday waking reality. But then Leafy decided
Why
to
is
chime in, of course,
Why
by
is
saying,
Destiny
"Whatever helps you
always
sleep
like
at
in the
night,
center
cuck."
of stuff?
And this basically started a whole chain of interactions between Adam and banned YouTuber Leafy, who's now doing content
Oh,
over
Leafy's
on the
banned?
streaming site Rumble. And it seems like right now, since he's come back, Leafy's just trying to stir up as much controversy as possible in order to promote his Rumble streams. Obviously, he's been making a lot of inflammatory tweets about the LGBTQ community, and now he's targeting a lot of content creators. One of
Why
which
is
was
he
Destiny right off the
making
bat, and now Adam22 is his, you know, most
the
recent
right
target.
seem
But guys,
sane?
Adam's not going to take this one lying down. Okay, he's not going to take Leafy's criticism lying down.
No.
That is his wife's job, which clearly is very important to him. Adams, meanwhile, is to fire back
Lena
on
the
Twitter
Plug.
with the most possible, like,
or Lena
big
the
tweet you
Pug,
could
Lena the
possibly imagine.
Plug.
How many
but
partners
I
have
don't
you
know,
had?
man.
No offense, but you
That's
resemble
not a
some sort of
plugin that
botched
you would
abortion
want
attempt.
to
Not
be
sure why this
plugged
app
in
has given you the
to your
confidence to be
wife.
critical of anyone else's life choices. Generally speaking, I'm just ignoring the hate
Oh,
right now,
another
but
dude.
Leafy pretending he's in a position to judge anyone else's life cannot stand.
So it's
And
just
these were some funny tweets, but this is just the start of Adam doing this kind of thing. Over the next 48 hours, he would continue to double down, writing the most disgusting, meant to be clowned on tweets of all time. Like, this dude, to give him some credit, if I can, is good at getting people to bully him. He clearly wants that to happen.
Oh,
even
yeah,
though he's
when it's
acting.
getting massive
Kind of
amounts
weird
of
how calling
attention
me a
from
cuck
it.
is supposed to offend me. I saw the video of my wife getting plowed. Stop saying these things. I saw the video of my wife getting plowed, and I thought it was pretty hot. If that makes me a cuck, so be it, bro. I wasn't born with a strength.
he's just trying to
required
get
let another
attention.
dude bang my wife. It takes hours upon hours in the gym to gain this kind of strength. Weak men will never understand. He's even digging up old pictures of himself when he had completely different hair and everything before their relationship was fully open to be like new bait tweets because this guy is like, you know, this tall dude is picking her up or whatever. And of course, in the replies of every single one of these is a link to his OnlyFans. So he clearly thinks this is a good method of promotion in some way.
Well,
like just being
I guess he's
relentlessly
making
made fun
money
of.
off of
Seems
it.
to be his new favorite way to get money right now. And I'm just gonna say what I said in my last video here. Like I get that he wants to
His
make
new
money,
favorite way
but he
to
already
get
has
money.
money. The dude's a multi-millionaire. Is
Really?
whatever bag you're getting off this really worth being made fun of by the entire internet all at once? Having your marriage look like a joke to hundreds of thousands of people? Like, what really is the benefit of that? Okay, not to sound like
I didn't realize there
were
was still a lot of traditional people out there to care.
and frankly, your bond that you have together. When millions of people call you a loser and call your wife this and that and all assortment of not nice words that I should probably avoid saying on YouTube, even if they are somehow secure in their relationship and totally fine with how their marriage functions, to have this many people talking about it, making fun of it, criticizing it, seeing it in a negative light, that cannot be good for the brain, okay? This is probably the most Adam has been made fun of online at once, and it's over a thing that I presume is most sacred to him. But he's just trying to milk it as much as possible to promote him and his wife's OnlyFans as much as possible, because apparently he's just like a psychotic money-making machine that doesn't really seem to care about anything else other than that, right? Now, in all fairness, the money they made off.
What up, guys? Welcome
damn, she's
to
got 42
Pearl
minutes on that.
Daily, where I cover this week's latest debauchery. Before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. That way you're going to be notified of my daily videos. Like the video on your way in. Let's get started. So today, Adam.
See what
Look,
Pearlie's got to say about him.
misogynist one time. I'm covering this story forever. I will cover it till I die. Okay? I thought me and Adam had a nice interview. I thought we were getting along fine. I see on a podcast he called me a misogynist.
Oh no.
A woman who is sponsoring fat chicks to lose weight.
Oh no.
Accused of hating women. What audacity. So, I found out that Adam decided to cuck out his wife.
The way she put that.
Yes. The optimal thing for my marriage is to sell my wife's body for money and let another man rail her. Now, I don't know much about the man they picked. This guy, Jason Love. Maybe he's a nice guy. I don't know. No matter how nice the guy is, he is not nice enough to let him screw your wife. Okay?
Right.
Call me old-fashioned, but usually when I wanted to make money, or I don't know, when I thought someone was a cool guy, what I didn't think we would do is give your wife to him. What I didn't think we would do is, you know, money. Even though the crazy thing is, this man is a multi-millionaire. He has one of the biggest podcasts in LA. I used to love his interviews with like Kevin Samuels, all these other people. He's a talented guy. He doesn't have to do this yet. They choose treachery while calling me a misogynist. The audacity. But, you know, so we covered last week how Adam did not like this. Adam before was like, I will not let my wife screw another man. That's too far. Like a reasonable man would. But his wife started talking to him, getting into his ear, saying, Adam, why don't you bring in some swinging stuff. Oh, I like this
What?
guy, Jason. Here's Jason. What? I don't know what they're talking about, but just long story short. So, Adam is like, all right, as the head of the household in a leadership position, I'm going to lead you to this other man. Lead you to this other guy. So, this week, he also offered, he's been making jokes about it all week. You know, he told Elon Musk that, you know, cucking is great. He told Andrew Tate that cucking is great. He's just really promoting this lifestyle. So now we're gonna look at what his girl had to say about her shoot with the other man. Now I'm sure she's gonna be really respectful and not like, even if she did enjoy it, maybe downplay it, say it wasn't that good. Lie like women. Women, we lie about everything else, okay? What? Okay, we lie. We'll lie with a face full of makeup. We'll lie with the injections full of Botox, BBLs. We lie about everything. So I am sure she can lie for her husband to help him save face. Let's
I
pull
guess
the
not.
clip.
Handling it like a champ. I've been seeing
He's
his
into it.
posts. He's lifting. He's like getting bigger. Did he, when you get back after you said you were like laying there dead, was there like an awkward conversation? Because you had to have been like both laying in bed, and he had to have been like, okay, so how was it?
Yeah, I was trying not to talk about it at all. I was like, so what do you want for dinner, you know? And then he kept asking me more and more questions, and I think we got to a point where I was just maybe a little too honest about it.
Oh.
And I think that's kind of made him feel a little uncomfortable or jealous, and that's what I meant when I said we have to like learn each other's boundaries.
Yeah, you know what
Like, why is he promoting something that he knows deep down? This is why these simp guys are not our friends. They're not our friends. They do not look out for our best interests. And
Right.
they lie. I am so tired of these men lying.
Yeah, that's true. The simps will lie. Simps are us. So that's the gist of Adam 22. Interesting. Oh god, it's triggered all the Pearl stuff.
So last time I covered Adam. All right, boys and girls.
Oh god, he plays Halo. Tipster is desperate and cringy. Oh, I remember iDubbbz. He ruined it. I never really saw the follow-up with Creator Clash, so I don't really know.
So it feels like once a month now we're getting a new video from iDubbbz where he talks about why his life sucks now and something went horribly wrong. Whether you
Really?
like him or not, I think in a way everyone kind of feels bad for him at this way because the dude just keeps posting L after L on the internet.
Big dog, we got a situation here. I'm gonna need some backup.
And at this
Oh, wait. He's not as funny as he used to be? What a shocker.
point, he's kind of just become the guy making a sad face on the thumbnail where he whines about how he got brutally owned by the powers that be.
Can you go? You're making me very uncomfortable. Please leave.
It's gotten so bad that even his diehard fans who still like him are asking Anissa if she thinks he's funny anymore. I've been subscribed since 2015 and unsubscribed yesterday. This has nothing to do with Hyde or Anissa. I never really cared about the controversies, only the content. My reason for unsubscribing is poor quality content. I understand he may be going
Katie
through a
subscribing is a thing apparently. For your favorite content creator, your favorite YouTuber, if they're just down on their luck and they're just as not entertaining or funny as they once were, give them a pity subscribe, for goodness sake, even if it's only temporary.
With his comedy, but it feels like his last 10 videos have been devoid of any personality. He always comes across sedated with unfunny commentary and video ideas that just seem random.
My
no hate
God,
towards
he's
He
not
doesn't owe
doing
anyone.
his cringy humor anymore. Oh damn, what a shame. The odds of that not working. Oh my God.
content, just feel like he no longer enjoys making videos. Edit, resubscribing for now. I feel that he's going through a tough time, and I have hope that with less stress, he'll make better content. Take care of yourself, Ian. So they even put the edit after Anissa replied. Believe it or not, she actually replied to this comment. And you can't really blame this person for feeling that way because Ian has not really posted a real video in like
I miss
a year.
the old
Since the Sam Hyde
iDubbbz.
video, honestly, I feel like we haven't gotten a real video on his channel, and that video itself was obviously pretty.
So man, the videos that he was doing when he was starting out, and you expect him to do the same videos, I don't think so. That's not how you reinvent yourself. The dude was probably always boring.
Controversial, but if he was actually putting in the effort to
just
make
using, like,
content, you know, I
slapstick
think people would
humor
at least
stuff.
stick around a little more. But these days, it seems like his
Early
priorities
on.
are just elsewhere. It's mostly been update videos that he's been posting, as well as like complaining videos where he talks about why his life sucks now. And when he does make actual content, quote unquote, it's him making like a weird Thanos toy out of plastic.
Oh no! The Avengers are here to defeat Thanos. But Thanos can't face the Avengers looking like this.
I will say this: certain content creators like Angry Video Game Nerd, I mean, you can kind of keep on doing the same thing to a certain extent for the nostalgia. And I guess you can go for the nostalgia, but
You must pop the Infinity Stones out of Thanos so he can face the Avengers with clear skin.
pop it out like a zit. What the hell?
Pops. Cool. It
Cool,
oozes.
man.
It goops.
He reminds me of like a boring Joe Dirt. Like a Joe Dirt that wasn't charismatic.
Help Thanos regain his confidence so he can destroy the universe. It's the all-new Thanos Zit Popper. Character and water beads each sold separately.
Which frankly is just about as funny as the squirrel videos, which means
squirrel videos
not funny at all, and also not entertaining in the slightest.
You've said that anyone who
Cue in
focuses
dramatic
their entire
video.
career on making edgy content, edgy jokes, eventually finds themselves wanting to do something more fulfilling with their lives.
Totally.
What is the fulfilling thing now?
I don't know, making things that are rewarding in more than one aspect. I really like, I've been enjoying making projects.
Dude, look at it.
Yeah,
Oh
oh
my god.
I made this like fidget toy.
Yeah,
That you
the
pop zits
Thanos'
out of.
He made
colorful
that?
zits.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was so much fun to do. I have a ton of other ideas like that.
Nobody really wants to watch these recent iDubbbz videos. And Anissa even replied to this comment, like I said, actually, and said the following. I wish people would give Ian a break. It's been extremely
obvious
stressful,
because
and
they're
throughout
too
all the
busy
stress
watching
he's going
Wario.
through, he's still attempting to make fun content when he can. He wants to and will be uploading entertaining videos. It's just unfortunate that he's had to make another video like this. And trust me, he really wasn't excited to do this. We are dealing with legal issues on top of all of this, which Ian hinted to in his video. I promise he really wants to get back on the horse, and it's in the forefront of his mind. We unfortunately didn't know how much time Creator Clash would truly take from our life. Along with my immigration and some family struggles, life has just hit us hard. Things will get better. After this month, I really think things will look up. I'm sorry it's been such a mess over the past few years. I mean, clearly even Anissa knows that the
very
content is just not
optimistic.
up to snuff lately. At this point, is it really the fact that Ian stopped being edgy that he's losing his audience, or is it that the videos just straight up suck? Well, the latest development in the iDubbbz story.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about that. It's like, but nostalgia. Like, you know, if you basing yourself on nostalgia that you've brought in the past, and then you're doing content that differs from it, and worse off, your content isn't even as funny. It's like, well, sorry. Now he just gets pity subbed.
Is that Creator Clash 2, the big boxing event he put on.
Whoa. What do you mean never switched up on you? What do you mean? You have to explain that, mister.
Which you guys definitely remember had the Froggy Fresh band controversy. Was
Oh, see,
apparently
I never even checked out, so I don't know if he won the clash or lost. But based on what I'm hearing with Tom Dark here, I'm starting to wonder if he like lost and just got the crap beaten out of him.
a
Look at him!
colossal
Look at
failure.
him, man! This is dude, man, that's.
They failed to raise money for charity and are now $250,000 in the hole because of mismanagement and poor viewership. Yeah, Ian posted a video titled
It's a long
"The Harsh
story.
Reality of
Oh,
Creator
no.
Clash."
Once our expenses are paid off for the event.
Well, that's one of
like,
that's one of
all
my
the
main
minimums
reasons, like
of-
to hopefully. Well, okay, I'm starting to get a little bit of an itch to like stream more concurrently, at least to stay up to date in some of these things. So, but definitely as it gets closer to winter, I will
broadcasting,
definitely
the
like this.
hotel, travel, all that sort of stuff. Once that's all paid off,
Where's the
then we
funny
can start paying,
iDubbbz?
the charities. Unfortunately, we didn't even reach the break-even point. Right? We're 200.
Whoa! Now, let me get this straight. Now he screwed over the fight that everyone wanted, right? I can't remember the fighter, but the big fight that everyone was like going to see the event for, and then he basically canceled it. The fight that everyone wanted to go see. And, whoa.
$50,000 in the red.
I mean,
Oh,
here
oh
items
my
is just
god, dude. Wow. Add not funny anymore to not a good promoter either. I can't believe he did that to that fight. I can't
saying
believe
that despite all the talk about
He's
doing
such a
things for
bad
charity,
businessman.
the event was not even able to break even.
that is
not
not
only do they
funny.
not pay any charities, he is in the hole 250 grand he has to pay. And this is supposed to be a charity event. I mean, the whole purpose of Creator Clash is not to raise money for the fighters, it's to raise money for people.
Whoa. So he's cringe whining about not making enough profit. Like Tommy just pointed out right there, it's a damn charity. I work for a charity. That's what the hell.
People who need it through charity. To my knowledge, the fighters are not even paid much above the cost of training and preparing for the fight, traveling, etc. Beyond that, they don't actually make money. They just get paid for like the bare minimum work. So the whole point to begin with was making an event that had familiar faces, which could also raise money for charity. Which
Whoa. You left their Discord server? So what do you mean bitching about another YouTuber who wronged them? Like, you know, I will say this, like, if I have any issues with any like other content creator or YouTuber, I have an open Discord, Facebook, whatever policy. Communication is necessary. Cuz I don't like to burn bridges, and I don't like drama. I don't like any of that crap. Now, don't get me wrong. I can say stupid shit that pisses people off. But once I know I've pissed someone off or annoyed someone to an extent where they're like gunning for me, I'm like, hey, I don't like to burn a bridge. Let's fix it. Let's go on with our lives. Hell, work together, that kind of stuff.
Which is what made it different from these other,
I hate
creator boxing events
that.
like Zone or Misfits, Happy Punch, right?
I hate
what made it different was that
Let
it
me
was
put it another
raising
way. I hate walking on eggshells. If I feel like I'm walking on eggshells with someone, that means there needs to be a solution. So I don't like going into like big fights with other, especially other YouTube content creators.
Made for charity and not trying to make
Even if I
money off of the
disagree with
viewers.
them.
And now all of the money that was promised is not going to be delivered, and Ian's critics have another own on him. They have another win, so they can be like, "Hey man, maybe this wouldn't have happened."
Okay. So I'll go with what you just said, Mister. One of the worst things that someone could do is pit supporters against each other like that. That's terrible, dude. Look, I don't necessarily have any moderators or anything, but anyone that's moderating or anyone that's chat involved or involved with the stream, I mean, I'm an open policy kind of guy, so it's like there's, I don't get really attached to anyone, so I don't expect others to get attached to me, so they can disagree with me, they can agree with me. I support people regardless. So
Didn't kick Froggy fresh. And while that is a funny narrative to push at the end of the day, I don't think that's even true. Because if they let Froggy on the card again, I mean, Jadeon promised to donate 100 grand, which is a lot of money, but that still would not even make up for the losses of the event. There would still be $150,000 to be paid at the end of the day. And on top of that, the charities would not be getting.
Moderators, they help content creators. They help people that they like and support, but there's also a lot of people to support, it's a big platform, so you can't just like keep people to yourself. It's greedy. So, I mean, moderators should be able to, regardless, freelance or do whatever they feel is necessary for them, in their support or who they help.
Any money whatsoever. So at the end of the day, this event was probably
Moderators
horribly
should not be
mismanaged
nailed
and was just a
down.
failure even outside of that controversy. Obviously, that cast like a negative kind of shadow on it from the public's perspective, and I obviously had a negative view of how that was handled. But at the same time, they were from the start, right? The game was rigged from the start.
I foolishly thought that the success of last year should be a minimum for what we are able to do this year. And that wasn't true. There was a lot more to think about. I thought, okay, we're bringing on more talent, we're bringing on more creators. That should translate to more pay-per-view buys. We're inviting more creator guests. I think that should translate to more pay-per-view buys. This is our second time doing the event.
Second
so More
time.
people are going to know about it. So I thought that would translate to pay-per-view buys.
No, the
You
fight
did
that you
half as
promoted
well
was
as we did the
translating, and then
first
you
year.
had it canceled
50,000
because your
compared to 100,000
feelings
the
were
first
hurt.
year.
So for those who just missed it, Ian said they only got 50,000 people to buy the pay-per-view, which means half as many people watched as last time. That is really not good at all. That is horrible. And he's right, there were more creators and more guests, but let's look at who those people are, okay? Because I think that's super important. These are not popular people. A lot of people
These
have
are not
pointed out
popular
that there were
people.
some literally who's on this
Wait,
card,
wait. Is
and
this
that's
showing?
kind of a
Is
joke.
this
but in
this
reality,
showing it? No, driver one, stop it. What was the main fight, Mister? What was the main fight? The one that was canceled, the one that everyone was going for. Well, accountability is something important. You know, it's easy to take the easy way out in life when it comes to being very pragmatic towards people. You know, a lot of people are very much out for themselves. I mean, as most people, I guess, should be, but some take it to such an extent that they will throw others over or under the bus. I mean, I'm a very prideful person. I'm a prideful person, and I feel bad about things. Like, if I do something I feel is bad, I feel bad about that. Like a conscience, as it would be. And then...
reality, most of the people on the card are like, why the f is this person expected to pull in viewers? Not to shit on all of these people, because, you know, some of them I like and I think are cool, but...
caved in and apologized to you. I don't like it when people spread false rumors.
At the end of the day, I kind of have to be honest. Analytics do matter when you're running an event like this, when you're running a business, or when you're trying to raise money for charity.
big fight
And
that
most of
you're
these people are either
promoting
popular
matters.
names who don't pull views anymore because they were famous like 5 to 10 years ago, or they were never really that big at all and just have like some connection to the fighters or something, right? Some connection to the promoters, some connection to Ian and Anissa. I mean, Dad, for example, right? He's a cool fighter, but you go to the dude's channel and he's barely even uploading. When he does upload, he gets like 20,000 views. That is not the kind of person who's going to draw in pay-per-view buyers. His opponent, Starkilla, is on the H3 podcast, which, you know, the podcast obviously gets good views because it's Ethan, but Ethan's not the one fighting. It's his producer, Starkiller. And
You know, I'd hate to say it. I don't really care much for Logan Paul, but if you want to bring in a celebrity that's going to bring you in views, then that would be one person that you bring in. I mean, so it's not like iDubbbz like really thought about bringing in like, you know, fighters that could actually like really rink in the dough.
Starkilla doesn't have like a huge fan base of his own. And once again, I'm not trying to like shit on him for that because like he does have 100K subs. Obviously, most of that came from the podcast, but regardless, that's respectable. He put the work in, right? He's got the audience, and he gets decent views for a channel with 100K subscribers. But most of these videos are not viral by any means. He's lucky to hit 100K views, frankly. And these are just two examples. Myth, as I pointed out before in another video, was super famous like 5 years ago when Fortnite was at its peak. Now he averages 300 viewers when he streams. Is this the person you're expecting to pull a ton of views? Really? Is this the person that's expected to sell pay-per-views? I wouldn't expect him to sell anything. Abelina Sabrina is also a name who, I mean, nobody's watching her videos, okay? I'm sorry. 20K views, does this make her qualify as like even a large...
How dare you? At least my channel is like over 32. No. My channel is over 50,000 views. 50,000 views from all my shorts. 50,000, about like 52,000 or 52 or 53. And within the last month, it's been like 32,000 because I keep on posting shorts. I'm trying to figure out like the best times to put up shorts and everything. So my best shorts have gotten like 5K. Of course, the last few days and last week, it's only been getting, like the way that I've been posting, only getting like a couple hundred. I'm like, when's the special time frame?
YouTuber?
And
Would that put her in like the
I guess
small
it's
YouTuber
like
category?
between like 2 and 4 p.m. So I'm like, crap. Because I noticed the videos I would get like 5K, I would be posting like around lunchtime Pacific, which is around 12. My lunchtime. Actually, that would be like, oh no, actually, 3:30. Maybe 3:30. That's when I need to save my videos.
She doesn't even have
to, like,
200,000
post them up.
subscribers, and this person is
3:30.
expected to sell tickets. She doesn't have a real fan base. She just doesn't. And that's what you need to sell tickets to
So-
a charity boxing event, right? Obviously, the first one kind of had a novelty thing going on where it's like, oh, well.
Well, you're welcome to vent. You know, just so you know, it's never. If everyone says anything in terms of like toxicity or something like that, you know, venting. There's a difference between being toxic and just venting. Like toxic is when you're like really being malicious towards someone to a certain extent. Whereas venting is like, I just need to get this off my chest. I just need to talk about it, and then it's over and done with, and I feel better. So, hey, I'm
It's
a
not
big,
DAZN, it's
hey,
not
if you hadn't known already, I'm a big venter myself. I vent the hell out of shit. In fact, it's really healthy to vent. It's healthier to vent to the person that you're having issue with, but it's still healthy for those that you trust to to vent to them too. You also get those valuable insights.
It's not Happy Punch,
Or-
and it's
or
being
just
run
the
by
vent.
iDubbbz, so that's kind of a cool novelty right off the bat, right? You know, that novelty is worn off, and now you just have to throw on like a sick event. And obviously throwing a sick event is cool, but the other part
No
that you have to
problem,
get
mister.
down, that sick event needs to have
No problem
names that
at
people give a shit
all.
about. That's the point of influencer boxing.
That's what
They're
I'm
not
here
going
for.
there to see boxing. They're going there to see famous YouTubers box, people who are out of their element, fish out of water. They're going to see the skinny nerd like Matt Watson box. They're going there to see Markiplier. I mean, I don't think he's boxed before, but someone like Markiplier box, because it's like he's a gaming YouTuber. You wouldn't expect to see him in that scenario, but the talent
Mark-
here, frankly, was
wait,
just
wait,
not
wait,
up to
wait,
snuff.
wait.
And on
Mark is a gaming YouTuber. I never really watch him, so I don't know.
one hand, it is hard to get people to agree to do a boxing match that they don't make any money on, and they have to take much time off work from, which
I thought it was a charity. I thought it was a charitable event. How would that be hard to get into? Like anyone who wouldn't want to participate in it that was asked because it's a charity, well, you may want to reconsider them. Because if it's just about money when it's supposed to be a charity, I mean, if I was part of a charity event, it's not. First thing that comes to my mind is not money. If I go to a charity event and I'm hearing money a lot, I'm hearing dollars. I'm like, I don't want to be here. This is not an event to help people.
also lose money from that. But at the same time, like, you need to put more effort into getting better people who are going to pull more pay-per-view, because that's what makes these
there you
events
go.
work.
Like
And
'em or hate 'em.
clearly this one did
What
not.
else would
Once
there
again,
be?
I'm not trying to do this whole rice gum thing where I'm like, irrelevant, right? I like to think I'm not that kind of person. At the end of the day, all things considered, these people are not ticket sellers. They're just not. And
They're definitely not ticket sellers. And then IW's himself, I mean, with the dude, his nostalgic humor, I mean, it's over with. And he's fighting. He's boxing. Freaking boxing, which is as far from his content as you can get. Right? It's like, you think people are going to want to see you? But hell, the fight that they did want to see, he took off.
that's apparent from the failure of the event. The whole appeal of influencer boxing is to show people's favorite personalities fighting. Chris Raygun probably was a lot of people's favorite YouTuber. I really liked his stuff back in the day, but that's back in the day, okay? That was in 2017 when he was really popping off.
You gotta
now
find
the dude
someone
takes a
relevant.
bunch of big breaks between uploading, and when he does post, it's like, it's not bad
So,
considering it's pretty inactive.
so let me guess. So this event was just about IW's bringing all of his past buddies, his co-creators back in the past. One last hurrah, huh?
Right, 100K views. That's
Oh,
respectable
man.
by any means. And I'm not trying to his content or his analytics, but I just don't think this guy is pulling a lot of people to pay for his fight. In full disclosure, I was at the event. I had a lot of fun. I paid for 8 tickets for me and my friends to go there, and I don't regret it. But for me, it was more about going with my friends. It was more about supporting charity than seeing my favorite personality fight, because none of these people are people I watch on YouTube, really. And what you have to take into account is that at the end of the day, the majority of the money is not made from people who are there in person.
You know, it's so
That's
it's so
basically
hard
just a-
for me to like identify with it all because I watch a lot of political content. When I'm not streaming and when I'm not working, I'm watching a lot of political comment. So I don't really watch a lot of this other stuff, which is still interesting, but it's not something that I've really attributed to. So for me to watch this kind of stuff about and learn about the iDubbbz and stuff, I mean, I watched a little bit of like the Angry Video Game Nerd, but mostly when I was growing up, I was like on Newgrounds.com watching filthy content on that, and I wasn't
Help
really
cover
watching
expenses.
these guys.
Where the money comes from is pay-per-view. And it's not that shocking to me that they didn't sell that many pay-per-views, because who would want to watch any of these people fight in 2022 or 2023, whenever it was? I've also been to a Misfits and DAZN boxing event, and that event was
It's like
honestly
no
way
wonder
worse
with
than
this
Creator
event that
Clash.
I didn't
were
really
there
know
in
who
real
was,
life.
like,
It was
fighting.
less
I
fun.
didn't
There was just
recognize
less of
anyone.
everything. But Misfits and DAZN make money, and they have that as their priority because promotion, pay-per-view, and the live show are a huge part of what they focus on. Creator Clash 2, frankly, was poorly promoted, and while they did go all out with the event itself in terms of actually marketing it and getting it out to people and getting people in the door, they just couldn't do it. People weren't super hyped leading up to it. Why would it succeed? And apparently, according to Ian anyway, which I think is probably a trustworthy source on this particular issue, piracy was a big problem as well.
Amongst the 800 pirated streaming sites, there were between 1.3 and 3 million viewers. So even though...
So the argument goes that if someone is willing to pirate your video, in this case his event, his pay-per-view event, there's a good chance these people weren't going to buy it anyway. So I don't think that's an argument that, I mean, it could stick, but in the wrong way, because I don't think these people would have watched it anyway. If they did, it would have been later down the road.
there were around 50,000 pay-per-view buys, there were around 1.3 to 3 million viewers, people who actually watched the full broadcast.
I honestly doubt those numbers. I'm curious how they were actually calculated, because I would be shocked if 1 million people were watching that event live. But with stuff like this, if people really like a product, even if piracy is available, some of them will buy it, right? A certain percentage will pirate, of course.
I mean, if he was like getting those numbers, then Tony Khan better give him a call.
Something like this that, you know, people are really passionate about, which is like creators, which people have like this strong parasocial relationship with, it should be able to bare minimum break even on production costs. If people actually like it and care about it, they will go the extra mile to pay. This time around, it seems like the public interest was just at an all-time low. Nobody really cared, and if they did not.
The controversy did not help, I'm sure. The controversy and the removal of the fight. That one fight, so that did not help things. And with the Dubbies and his wifey or whatever, yeah, that drama did not work out. I mean, I don't think it came off well for them at all.
Care enough to give the event money. It's not like they were asking that much. Like I think it was like $50 or something. That's not bad at all for pay-per-view. But they just couldn't get people to put in their credit card info and charge that small fee because they just didn't think it was worth it. People didn't get the hype. They didn't feel excited for it.
That event
and as Ian goes on to explain the other expense,
that event was not worth $50, I'm sure. Hands down. No way.
this is just racked up as well. For one, the venue, which is Amalie Arena, was double the size, and it was not filled up by any means. It wasn't empty. I mean, there were quite a few people there, but it wasn't filled. It wasn't sold out. So it was a lot more expensive. Then Taylor Swift announced a tour the same weekend, which meant hotel and travel prices went up because the biggest artist in the world is coming there. And then there's the fact that they bought out an entire hotel for the creators to stay there, which is insanely expensive. Getting an entire hotel, surprisingly, is not cheap. But Ian did have a reason for this.
Aside from the pirating, we did have higher expenses this year. It was a bigger arena. We went to the Amalie Arena, so it was twice as big. We paid more for broadcasting. So broadcasting team did a lot more elaborate and there was a lot more
over
staff
budgeted.
Involved. We did a creator hotel. So we bought out a hotel to make sure all the creators had a safe place
that no one was wanting to watch. Oh my god.
Because all the hotels shot up in price like a couple weeks after we locked in the creator hotel because Taylor Swift was coming to town. She announced her tour dates and pretty much everything got booked up. If we didn't book the creator hotel when we did, I don't think we would have had nearly as many creators show up to show support, and our pay-per-view numbers actually could have been hurt by that. We also had events the day before the fight and the day after the fight, so that fighters and friends and family could come together and process their trauma. That was sort of paramount for me because the first year we did the fight and then I went to bed. I got the kicked out of me by Dr. Mike, and then I went to bed. And I woke up, the hotel was empty.
So you lost.
And then I got on a flight and traveled 5 hours with my face completely swollen back to Seattle. And I was like, that was cool. That was so worth it. There was nothing. There was no processing my trauma. There was no talking to anyone and relating about the experience afterward. Everyone was gone.
I'm gonna sound like a bit of a dick here, but
Go
dude,
for it.
life is not a movie. What do you think happens after you fight someone? Do you feel good? Even if you win, you
No.
usually get the snot knocked out of you. You think physically you're supposed to feel good or mentally? No, it's a fight because this is real life, not a Disney Channel movie where everyone hugs and kisses and Cinderella comes out to give everyone head in front of all 101 Dalmatians. What happens in real life is you go home and go back to your normal life. You don't get a pat on the back. You don't get an award. Okay, that's how things work. You do things and you don't really get recognition for it, and you go home. Okay.
Shots fired, shots fired. I'm taking cover.
Wait, what you're
What
talking
kind of
about right
humor
here
is
is
that?
basically ego. It's basically a circle jerk. What you did is
Oh,
basically
God.
treat the event like a vacation, where there are all these cute little events where creators can come and fun and like mingle.
Well, IW's, he seems like, if he is also an INTP, as people say he is, he wants people to love him. He wants to be loved and admired by the peoples.
And go to, after parties in the gala or whatever, but it turns out that it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars and you're not going to get that money back. Instead
Lord
of prioritizing
Bong.
charity, you decided to prioritize
name is that,
extravagant
Lord
luxuries that you
Bong?
really do not need, okay? People just don't need that. Let me put it this way. If you can't pay your bills right now and groceries are a struggle to pay for, which is a bare minimum you need to live, you're not going to go put a down payment on a new
So Dubbies, he's not going to be doing any more, like, events, right? Like, he's done with them, hopefully, right? Like, I really hope he's done with these live events.
All right,
Unless
boys
he's
and
going to bring in the Pauls or something like that. People love to see Logan Paul get beat the fudge up. They really, really do. The biggest cuck on YouTube is at the Adam. Okay. It goes into Too Mad. Twitch streamers at war. I didn't know Penguin Dude was at a war with her. They are involved during the Quite situation. Has Tommy gone into that? Who would you say is the top two content creators? It looks like Tommy's one. Looks like Tom here's one. Like who else is like a big creator that goes into these quick controversies? Oh, there. Lord Bung leaves the internet. Is there a recent one on that from Tom? Lord Bung. So, okay, so this is the most recent then, huh? Whoa. Emeru message leaks? Whoa. Emeru's not a nice person, huh? I knew it.
So one of the bigger animation channels on YouTube just got deleted by its owner. Okay, I mean, that's a bit of an exaggeration, maybe not one of the bigger animation channels on YouTube, but I mean, the Lord Bung channel is, or was, a big animation channel on YouTube, undoubtedly. Had a lot of subscribers, had a lot of, had a big following, and now it's just gone. This dude just left the internet. And this has left a lot of people confused as to why. I mean, for what reason would an animator with 1.14 million subscribers, multiple extremely popular videos, with the first episode of their series, SCP Confinement, having 12 million views, what reason would this person have to leave the internet altogether? The guy was making thousands of dollars a month on Patreon, was a
By the
successful
way,
artist.
I have so many like ideas and characters and stories. I would love to do an animation, but I just don't know anyone to really kind of do things. Really sad too. Really sad.
For a living, which is, a position that many can only dream of. I'm sure a lot of
I'm the
people are
JRR
envious
token
of
that
that
never
position,
happened.
So what the fuck happened? Why is their channel gone? It doesn't seem to really add up. Well, as it turns out, it may have something to do with the drama regarding Quite.
You deleted their channel.
A Twitter user
Why?
accused commentary YouTuber Quite of rape. This accusation blew up on Twitter and resulted in hundreds of thousands of people calling Quite a rapist horrible human being, etc. I think the original post that his accuser made got around 60 to 100,000 likes, so it was super popular, and basically everyone just believed it on face value. Now, the really interesting thing about this is that there was basically no evidence whatsoever. In other cases against YouTubers, people will include screenshots of messages or stuff like that to at least have something to show how they're interacting.
Yeah, you do definitely got to be careful of that with accusations. You know, you want to definitely trust but verify.
Actions went. But his accuser, Orion, had no such evidence. It was just a twit longer claiming these things had happened. Well, people took it and ran with it. And then Quite dropped a response, and the entire internet suddenly became educated and flipped around and defended Quite. Meanwhile, the accusers themselves basically got harassed off the internet. And you know, considering that they did lie about someone actually assaulting them, at least to me, it seems like they lied. Maybe that is what should have happened, whether they meant to lie about it or were so crazy and delusional that they actually believed, you know, their own lies. They probably deserve to get for that, right? So after all that, Quite got his career back because it was kind of in limbo during the allegations. He lost a lot of support. He got his career back. He got a bunch more subscribers on his channel, and now he's posting videos on his various outlets again, and all is well in the world, right? The day is saved. Everything is cool again. What does this have to do with Lord Bung? Well, as it turns out, at the time, Orion, Quite's accuser, or I guess false accuser, was in a relationship of some kind with Lord Bung. I believe people were saying it was a polyamorous relationship or something. I don't really know. What's up?
Because a poly relationship in no way can go wrong, right? 3 ways to Sunday.
With that, these Twitter people really have some weird shit going on, bro. What happened to two people just dating, okay? Now everyone has their own Reddit polycule. Why is the internet like this?
Whoa. People date in this native age? Whoa. I didn't realize dating was still a thing.
This. And to be clear, I can't seem to find any definitive information about this relationship or anything like that. It's just people talking about it, so take it with a grain of salt. I don't really know to what involvement Lord Bung actually had with Orion. Well, anyway, seeing as Bung was very close with Orion and they had worked on material together for his channel, he fully supported the allegations when they came out and made posts reflecting that. Hey everyone, this is in regards to the recent Quite controversy. I just want to say that I've known Orion for several years, and I know he's telling the truth. It would be a stupid amount of effort to actively lie about the details of these events and his raw, visceral emotions for years. I've had to witness and help one of my best friends get through breakdown after breakdown over specific and consistent triggers for several years, and it absolutely breaks my heart when I see some people think he's lying. He just wanted his story out. He wanted you all to know the kind of person Quite is and just be cautious. I mediated a call between Orion and Quite long ago regarding their relationship, and Quite was incredibly harsh and aggressive. He would tell inconsistent stories and get very intense when questioned. It's not so much that a bad temper was the issue, it's that nothing was ever resolved. He would just yell the loudest and win. When Quite and I shared a B&B in Melbourne and Anaheim for PAX Australia and VidCon, I recall him being very transactional socially and aggressive and very physical when drunk. I got no sense that he wanted to be my friend or even wanted to enjoy hanging out with people until he wants to be in some big YouTuber's video. Out of Quite and Orion, I trust Orion a lot more. And you know, this does sound like kind of behavior, but I mean, first of all, there's no evidence for it, and secondly, I don't really know what that sort of second paragraph has anything to do with the allegations. It's kind of a weird thing to include that personal experience and muddy the water there regarding this because, you know, it really doesn't have anything to do with Quite. Quite can be the most socially transactional person in the world. When he's drunk, he can be as annoying as he wants. That doesn't mean he's a you know what I mean? I'm not really sure why that was included. The finishing line of the entire statement is, out of Quite and Orion, I trust Orion a lot more. So I guess that paragraph was meant to sort of take away some credibility from Quite, but it's really hard to say what the deal is there. Now, this post was not on Twitter, actually. It was actually on the community tab of the Lord Bung channel. You know, so it was sent out to a much wider reach of people, and Bung really wanted a lot of people to see this. What some people may not realize is that before confinement, Lord Bung was like a commentary animation channel. He would get a bunch of YouTubers to be voice actors in his videos, like I'm Alex, and whoever else from the commentary scene was really popping at the time. And then he made Confinement, which was the series that really made the channel explode. Well, Bung supported Orion a lot when the allegations came out, signal boosting all of his stuff and reposting it everywhere, and making sure everyone knew about the allegations that were being made, making sure everyone had the information, because he seemed to really genuinely believe the story, you know. You can criticize his execution all you want, but as far as I can tell, it didn't seem like he really had bad intentions behind it all. He thought that Quite was genuinely guilty of what Orion was accusing him of, and as a result, he thought that Quite posed a danger to other people, potentially those in his audience, and so he wanted to spread that information there. That didn't turn out so well once Quite released his side, which basically detailed with evidence how Orion was a manipulative, crazy person and a pathological liar. Once this came out and the mob went from attacking Quite and calling him a 6,000, to attacking the other side and calling Orion a false accuser 12,000. They started going through the list of people who had been involved to get their statement, you know, those who signal boosted the allegations, Twitter accounts who supported them and stuff like that. And Will Bung was one of them, considering his long community post, and so many people asked him to respond. At first he was kind of silent, but then he responded on Instagram to a comment by saying, "I'm not apologizing for supporting a friend who had their life ruined by SA. It's wild to me that people expected me to do nothing when my best friend came out about their story." And you know, people really tore him apart.
Kind of sounds like the Mizkip thing.
For this, said he was an asshole. You even had people saying they would be unsubscribing from Lord Bung for supporting a racist liar. As far as I'm aware, only half of that is true about Orion, but you know, if it's Orion 1488 out here, you guys will have to let me know, because I'm just not familiar with that. But checking this person's account, while they claim to be 21 years old, they post and type like someone half that age.
I mean, yeah, because something like that is actually very, 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 very bad. You know, accusations that are false like
So
that.
I can't begrudge them too much, I guess.
I don't know
They may
how
have
anyone
something
could
limiting
spread
going on mentally. Bung ended up making a follow-up
like
community post saying, "I'm sorry for all the anger and frustration I've aided in causing. I'm still processing the information in Quite's video. I thought I was just helping my friend. Ryan and I have been close for years, so this is a lot for me to digest. Once again, thank you to those who were patient with me." So from this, it seems like Bung was reconsidering everything and having a hard time dealing with the facts that Orion lied, which shows some character development. It shows him dealing with the fact that Orion lied. It shows him dealing with the fact that, you know, maybe he got it wrong. Maybe he's the one who effed up. Maybe he needs to change his position, reconsider things, which is good. I mean, that seems like a good turn in the story, right? This was also reposted to Instagram by Lord Bung, which shows that he wanted to, you know, kind of spread it as much as possible. He puts it on his community tab. He puts it on his Instagram to let people know, hey guys, I'm sorry about this. You know, I'm having a hard time processing this information. Now, keep in mind, this was back in March, so this was months ago. But there hasn't been a new episode of his show, Confinement, in quite some time. I think it's been 3 or 4 years. So it's not like he's really busy getting out content or anything. And as a result, people are pretty frustrated that he was given a bunch of money to get this series done, and then seemingly has been sitting on his eating Cheetos, playing games, smoking up that stinky green, etc.
no.
I mean, maybe there was more going on as far as the work he's getting done. I don't really know, but that seems to be the impression on his subreddit. And as we all know, Reddit...
You know, I've already like put out there, like, you know, my channel not designed to make money. I wouldn't mind, but it's not really designed that way. It's just for entertainment, laughs, smiles, and I always forget to mention, but I do positivity videos as well. So it's meant to help people and be entertaining. That's it. That's all it is just feel good mostly. Feel good entertainment, comedy. I love comedy. I love dark humor. I love all that stuff. That's why all my emoji parody stuff is just ridiculous off the wall. Some of them are cringeworthy, but they're meant to be entertaining. Like if I can get people like, oh my god, Daniel at DtmXploaded. Oh my god, Daniel, this is so cringy. Then I've done my job. I've done my work
on any subject. If you want to know anything, honestly, just go to Reddit. Reddit will be able to tell
mean,
you easily the 1000% fact-checked by American True Patriot source for all information on any subject. So trust Reddit. Reddit seal of approval.
Oh, no,
we are
not
Reddit Nation on the Tom Dark channel. Bung made this post on his community tab more recent.
No, Reddit, please. No. This is where I go to find falsehoods, and distruths or untruths. I go straight to Reddit. Whenever I want to know something, I go to Reddit first because I know they'll give me the wrong answer. And then after they've given me the wrong answer, then I go to a place that gives me the right answer, or at least the opposite answer, and then I can compare and contrast. But Reddit, oh no, man.
Saying I stopped my Patreon a few weeks back. If
You
you
had
want
a
to download
Patreon?
my videos, do it now because I'm gonna.
How do you have a Patreon? What the hell? What the hell? Oh, he's going behind a Patreon wall. Oh no.
this channel in a day or two. Now, a lot of people speculated on why the channel is being deleted in the replies everywhere this was posted, with many pointing to the Quite situation being the main reason why. But I have yet to see any clear explanation from Lord Bung regarding any of this. I've yet to see like a twit longer or some kind of video explaining things. That doesn't seem to be out there. The last Instagram post from him was on March 14th, months ago, so he's not active there. He's not posting any kind of explanation. His Twitter has been deleted as far as I can tell, so no statement there, and now the channel's gone. So people really just have to pick up the pieces now and speculate on why this happened. As I said, millions of people saw his series, a lot of people were looking forward to it, so it's pretty crazy that it all went down this way. I actually ended up tweeting out asking what was up just to see if anyone had any information, because I figured there were probably some confinement viewers in my audience who knew about this and had been following the drama more closely. This person said
I don't understand. I happen to Star Wars theory too with his series. So I'm very protective of my content that's here. Like, I'm very protective of this, and I know what I want. And I just don't know how some of these creators get in the mindset of, you know, earning these monies for these ideas, these planned stories or whatever, and not being able to succeed on it. There's always this story like with Star Wars theory that he got screwed over by people. I'm a very hands-on person, especially when it's with my content, and again, what's in here, very hands-on. Like, no one is taking this. No one at all. Like, I mean, I'm very, very supervisor. What would be the word? But I'm very observative when it comes to these things. Like, I'm always observing, especially if it had to do with money and my money. I would be constantly watching it. So I don't understand outside of a scam how that could happen. And I don't know if Star Wars theory, if he was like scammy or not. I don't know the behind the scenes on that, because he just say that he was kind of screwed in a way. Yeah, but something like that doesn't happen unless you have some type of malicious means behind the scenes. I just don't understand how this happens to people. Like, they have greedy ideas, greedy plans, and it just doesn't work out their way, and they get out-greeded by thieves.
Think they did delete their channel because of the
Trust
Quite
but
stuff,
verify.
and I left this response, which kind of sums up my thoughts on everything regarding Quite and Bung's position and his actions. I said, I mean, he was wrong, but at the end of the day, his biggest crime was believing his friend/partner. I don't know, I feel like he's not an evil dude, but just got caught up with a manipulative person who suckered him into a narrative that ended up being fake. It's not like once the proper evidence for Orion lying was out there, he decided to keep going after Quite, but it seems to me like he could just not handle the criticism and backlash long term. And you know, this really is how I feel at the end of the day, because can Bung be criticized for believing a story about Quite with no evidence? Sure. Can he be criticized a little bit for not coming out with a statement soon enough? Sure. But I think there is some important information to understand here. Imagine if your best friend of years told you something horrible happened to them, but they had no proof. You would still believe them, right? Anyone naturally would. Anyone
that's around my circle knows that I am very suspicious. Even if it's someone that I've trusted for a long time, I take words with a grain of salt. In fact, the longer I've known someone, the more carefully I look at their words or their actions. So, of course, the same goes for people that I don't know as well, but there's always some sussed things. There's always something to question. And I am one who questions everything. So I don't understand how someone could take... Well, I do understand, because I know people have that mindset. I am not with that mindset. I could know someone for 30 years, and I'm still going to verify what you say. And God forbid the verification goes south. I'll be like, I've known you for 30 years, but you have finally lied to me.
sympathetic, anyone empathetic, anyone who's a true empath like me, okay? But anyone who's just a normal human being, you want to believe your friend, right? You have a deep connection with this person, so of course you want to think that they're telling the truth when they say that something horrible happens. And when it turns out that they may have lied, it's kind of a really hard thing to deal with, because to the viewers, they want you to make a statement and just be like, I'm sorry, and give in to the mob, right? But they don't have any personal connection. Their only connection is through watching the content, right? They don't know any of the people directly involved. But put yourself in Bung's shoes. He just found out that his friend of years has been lying about this SA story, which they've been telling him for years, by the way. This story's probably been a consistent thing they've talked about. Bung has probably told it to other people who were under the assumption it was true. So now he's just kind of... Like, how do you even begin to respond to something like that? Yeah, it is hard, but at the same time, realistically, Bung needs to find the strength within himself to respond properly. And it seems like, you know, at least as far as a detailed response...
Bung is not going to do that. Ooh, woo, woo stuff. It's like, oh my god. Damn, even did Aiden Ross dirty. Nice. I don't like Aiden Ross. I really don't like him. I think he's a manipulative person. Wait, didn't you mention Boogie? Nope, I'm going crazy. God, I still remember the Emerald stuff. I gotta remember Tom Dark. I don't necessarily want to subscribe to him though, but I'm like, because this isn't my main channel, so we. Shit, this is a tough one. The moment I subscribe, their videos will be popping up like crazy. Okay, I'll tell you what. Okay, fine. I'll subscribe to him. Let's check out this DTM guy. You ever hear of this DTM guy? He has a YouTube and a Twitch. Unfortunately, I'm streaming on the platform I'm not making money. It goes to show you, like, I could be streaming on Twitch right now, making at least $1.50 a stream. No, at least $1. If I stream for like 5 hours, I can make $1 to $1.50 with the viewers I get over there.
It was a pseudonym given by both parties
Instead,
to an
instead, I'm streaming on YouTube, not making anything, but I'm also kind of promoting my shorts and stuff, which, because of the positivity and the entertainment value, I find that more worthy than actually making money on Twitch.
underage victim of grooming, with the alleged groomer being the YouTuber Pyrocynical. For years, the public consensus surrounding the story has been one of dismissal, ignorance, and even mockery.
But that's also, I also am someone that really dislikes like ads and stuff, and I just don't like doing sponsorships and stuff, so I'm a really interesting one. It has to be really worth it.
Been plagued with threats of lawsuits and narratives to push an agenda. Because of this, it's been buried under the rug, with the public at large never understanding the real story. In this video, I will attempt to...
Pause. Oh, and a side note, I'm mostly invested in myself too, though that is one thing. I don't like sponsorships because it would have to be a product that I'm personally involved with, like a product of mine. Then I would like promote it, but it would have to be a good product and it would have to actually work. I realized I haven't been single since I'm like 13. What the hell's going on here? I was happy to wait for you to hit 16, but anyway, let's see. He will something himself if I leave. I regret it, so that's difficult to hear. Like, why should I suffer for him to live? I wish I wasn't.
To tell that story to the best of my ability. A task that, as we'll soon learn, comes with great
Oh, he's got
risk.
his own little music.
This is
feed
the
down
story
there.
of the French girl, who became commentary's darkest secret. In In the history of YouTube, there have been a plethora of groups that have spawned in the ever-changing landscape, but one that looms above most others is the commentary community. Emerging in 2015, this ragtag group of mainly young men made a career for themselves with a meta-analysis of YouTube and the people making content on the platform. One of the first big players in this...
I'm assuming Toasty has his own editor. Pyro's likeness for clickbait? No. Technically everyone uses clickbait. I mean... Even with my YouTube shorts. Although, I try to, like, mention the title, what it's about, but... Like, I try to keep it subject-based. I guess everyone does like clickbait, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I mean.
Space was Nile,
That
otherwise
face.
known online as Pyrocynical. Prior
Grade
to being
A
a
under
founding
A.
member of the aforementioned commentary community, Pyro and many of his friends started their YouTube careers with montage parodies, comedically over-exaggerated videos edited in a style to mock video game highlight reels. Pyro created some of the most popular videos
Well, that would be a correction to stay on the topic of his videos.
in the community, with many of his contributions having millions upon millions of views, and as a result, he had gained 250,000 subscribers by early 2015. But his biggest growth came later that year, when he started making more personality-driven content whilst talking over gameplay. It was in the same vein as another creator, Leafy is Here, and the change of content paid off dramatically, as only a year after, Pyro had reached the milestone of 1 million subscribers. But, as with everything, there was a downside. Pyro's humble beginnings and meteoric success meant that he was under the limelight and a lot more eyes were watching his behaviour, and the manifestation of this came from the notorious Keemstar. As most already know, Daniel Keem is the host of Drama Alert, a channel that specialises in discussing internet-related news and gossip. Much like Pyro, Keem saw the growing audience for more opinionated and drama-centric content and capitalised on the market. As the show gained traction, Drama Alert posed a serious threat to Keemstar's peers, and being targeted by him could single-handedly destroy your career. That being said, despite the internet's wariness over his power and responsibility, there was a sense of unity amongst the figureheads of the commentary community, who were often able to have fun with each other, all being on supposedly good
Shit. It's like bad YouTube. 234 subscribers, only 42 videos. It's taking me what am I at? I'm getting close to 70 subscribers, and I have almost like 400 videos. A lot of them don't have views because I like posted them all at once. So a lot of my videos I have to actually delete and re-upload. I didn't realize that I could saturate 0 views. It's like the channel doesn't have any content. Wait, there we go. American Dog. How to Disney princesses. There's a lot of guns. People watch these videos. Steam Summer Sale. Okay, well, yeah.
good terms.
Leafy, when you did your face reveal, you literally have a Vietnam flashback face.
Oh, that's Leafy's face.
However, these times wouldn't last, as Keem began to hear rumours involving Pyro behind the scenes, and unknown to anyone else, this would be the beginning of an incident which would turn the community on its head. Pyrocynical had become a massive YouTuber in the commentary community, but one group that was particularly bitter about his success was his former friends from montage parodies. Due to that and other reasons, 3 individuals known as Chili CSGO, Snipers and Vagabonds created a Skype group with the sole purpose of exposing Pyrocynical. This group had a lot of misinformation and inconsistent theories, but above all, they believed that Pyrocynical was dating a minor. And they were right. Pyro had recently gotten in contact with and began dating a French Twitter artist named Lou. Pyro was 18, 2 months away from
That's
turning
the
19.
French girl, huh?
And as for Lou, Pyro states she was 15, but she testifies that she was 14 years old. As evident from Pyro's own admission in an old Reddit post, this was a relationship where the two of them dated. It did not get sexual, but as seen from their DMs, Pyro admits that he was completely willing to wait for her to turn 16 so they could have sexual interactions. 16, for those of you unaware, is the age of consent in the UK, where Pyro lives. The two dated for approximately 2 weeks until the relationship was interrupted by the prodding of the Skype group members, and they broke up. Soon after, one of Lou's friends logged into her accounts, recorded the DMs of the breakup, and sent it over to the Skype group.
So much for
who then
endearing love.
contacted Keemstar. On March 22nd, 2016, Keem first messaged Pyro about the allegations. It actually wouldn't go public, however, for a few weeks. At the time,
Oh,
Keem was
God.
on good
Could you
terms with
imagine?
Pyro, so when Pyro told him that it wasn't true,
Could you imagine, you know, receiving a text like this, and it's like, oh shit.
he didn't run the story.
I hit up Pyro in the DMs. I'm like, is this true? He says it's not true. He gives me some stuff. All right, and I don't run the story.
This all changed on
Really?
April 9th, when Pyro uploaded the video criticizing Keem's channel, titled The Keemstar and Tobuscus Rant. In this video, Pyro makes some light criticism of the way Keemstar had handled the Toby Turner allegations, stating that he was worried about allegations being taken at face
God,
value
what's with all these
because of
young
how
people and
easily
their, like,
audiences could be
popular
swayed.
YouTube channels?
So recently, as some of you may know, Keemstar has uploaded a video onto his channel talking about a rape allegation with Tobuscus. Keemstar has every right to show it on the Drama Alert show. There's no kind of law he's breaking or any kind of breach of privacy. It's totally within his right for him to be able to make this video. And he himself in the video does remain extremely neutral. He never gives any kind of leaning towards maybe he did these things or maybe he didn't. You know, respect to him for actually maintaining neutral for the entire video. But honestly, in my opinion, what I think Keem should have done in that video is gave some kind of disclaimer that these are allegations and you shouldn't be going and flaming on Toby's channel.
This upload made Keemstar furious for a number of reasons. As publicly disclosed, Keem's defense for this was that he did in fact clarify they were allegations. Because of this, he disregarded Pyro's video and instead took it as a personal attack with an ulterior motive.
That dude is a fake piece of shit. Learn it. You're a fake piece of shit, and if you fucking swing at me, I'm gonna swing much harder back. Come at me, I'm gonna fucking smack you.
And considering how close this video was
Goddamn.
in proximity to Keem's DM to Pyro about the French girl, Keem assumed that this was Pyro trying to be ahead of the allegations before they dropped. So he published his suspicions early, infamously threatening to release his files on top of files.
Oh, and Pyro, do you remember those YouTubers that you used to be friends with before he blew up and like fucked them off? You know how they've been contacting me saying that you've been dating some like 14-year-old French girl and shit? Just please swing at me. If you're gonna swing at me, dude. Let me know, because I got a fucking files on top of files to swing back at.
Now,
Goddamn.
immediately, the first thing that comes to mind, and one of Pyro's main defenses in his video, My Experience with Keemstar, was that Keem was glaringly inconsistent.
So when you go after someone that has, you know, media content, like Keemstar, yeah, you best not screw around, or just don't do it at all.
And in the French girl's age.
Now, if any of you didn't know...
And it's also a rule of thumb, like anytime someone has something controversial, something that is controversial and could turn into a media frenzy, it's best to come out. You come out and you say what happened and everything, and you just get ahead on it, and if it ends your career, well, you came out. Let it be done with, instead of just beating around the bush and messing around, because it's just a big shovel digging a bigger grave. That's all it is. If things are going to reach an end point, you might as well get to it as quick as you can. So, that's just me.
He just deliberately lowered the age. Now, originally, this alleged girl was 15, and now Keemstar has lowered the age to 14. Probably to make it sound even more impacting and incriminating. And guess what? Later on stream, he lowered the age again to say the girl was now 13. And on top of that, basically insinuating that I was a paedophile. So this man has lied about the age of this girl on 2 separate occasions. And knowing Keemstar, this girl will probably be an embryo by next week.
So surely his
Oh my God.
inconsistencies would mean she was fake, right? Well, that would be a reasonable conclusion if Pyro didn't admit that all the conversations had actually occurred. 2 days after Pyro's video, Keem would tweet out a DM where Pyro is discussing a relationship and saying he was fine waiting for the French girl to reach the age of consent. Pyro then posted a response on Reddit where he confirms the conversation was real, even noting that he'd contacted the French girl to ask if she'd leak the screenshot, and provided additional screenshots of their conversations. Now in this post, Pyro admits he thought she was 15, but in a 2020 interview, Lou came back to the public to say that she was actually 14 when it all happened. Lou's testimony of her age can also be backed up by vagabonds who said the same all the way back in 2016. Again, you can decide for yourself on who's lying and who's telling the truth, but I tend to lean towards Lou's story because if you look at Pyro's Reddit post, he exhibits the behavior of a liar. You have to understand, the first position he staked was that it was entirely baseless.
This story is total bullshit.
And now in this Reddit post, he was confirming that the conversation was real and they had a relationship. He starts off by saying that Keem is trying to insinuate there was a sexual relationship going on. Pyro then goes on to emphasize that they were not dating, and over the next paragraph basically says that what he really meant when he said relationship was him supporting her because of tough times. This is a lie, and I know that because more excerpts of the conversation exist. You can see right here, the French girl is arguing about why Pyro dumped her, with discussions on if he broke things.
Whoa. Just can't go back, but trust me, I wish I could've. Okay, you have no proof I left you for fame. What are you on about? He says what? You literally message me nearly daily now, talking about how I left you for subs. Like the most generic argument ever with no points. The fuck didn't you read? Was it the fuck? Didn't you read? See, everyone pulls the you left for fame talk. I didn't leave you because I want to get seen as a pedo. Oh my god. So yeah, I don't know what imply means. What the hell? I just. Oh really? Kind of like this. See, I'm not saying the. Oh man. So I mean, if you're a content creator, if you're someone like who or decently famous, you should already be very careful about who you hang out with. So it's just these people are so young. How old is Pyro? Do you know? Like, these young people are not going to make the best decisions until they're much older. I mean, right now I'm 35 years old. I am 35 years old. I've been mentally mature for some time. But these people that are probably in their teens or early 20s, I mean, they're just not mentally there.
Things off because he didn't want to be seen as a pedo. They are literally talking about breaking up, and if Pyro's role was just to be supportive, then you'd think he would maybe intervene and be like, hey, sorry, no, we weren't dating at all in the first place. It is a blatant contradiction and a...
Let's see this conclusion right here.
Awful. I mean, I've legit went to a mental hospital because I ended up having severe anxiety disorders, and well, I've had to tell this story about 10 people, or even more, honestly. Let's say 20 people.
26 years old?
A few weeks, and I couldn't live for a few years because my anxiety was so bad I could barely breathe every day. So it was very, very bad, and it took me a while to get healthier mentally and physically as well.
It's sad to think that the dark side of ancient reality could have been aired out so much earlier, because when we talked to the victims, they were incredibly helpful, immediately telling us their stories. Yet it was those who created a lie and made a girl into a punchline who later refused to answer questions on what they knew and when
19.
they knew it. However,
Yeah,
regardless of
very
any
young.
preconceived bias that you had upon sight in this video, I hope it's clear by this point that the abuse suffered by these victims transcend any of the petty internet beefs that underlie them. We started out with Pyro implying the French girl didn't exist, and ended up pulling a thread that led us to unravel the dark underbelly of the commentary community. The evidence provided strongly suggested that ancient reality was one of the most disgusting, deplorable, and abusive people this platform has ever housed. And the fact he was able to move away from this and still have a positive reputation, get another channel, it's fucking disgusting.
So before I head off, because I'm gonna cut the stream soon. So, to just make the point that if you are in a media light, regardless of your age and who you know, you have to be careful, and you definitely don't want to be around someone that's underage, especially with the media that we have today, and especially with YouTube as a whole and the content creators. A lot of these content creators that make a lot of views and a lot of money off of that kind of drama, actively searching out for people making mistakes, for controversies to happen. So there is an area where that content is highly, it's very popular. It's very much a populace. So you have to be careful in this day and age of who you are with. Don't let youth get the advantage, especially 14-year-old French girls. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There's an easy reaction. Oh, you're 14? Oh, have a good day. Have a nice life. There you go. Oh my god. These young people. They're scary. Well, I hope it was a good old time, mister. Before I head out. Hopefully one day I'll be able to take these live videos and cut it up or something like that. I don't have an editor, so that just means editing myself, but Facebook and YouTube, their little short editors, have made things easier, though. Well, thank you, mister. I appreciate it. It helps with good content, that's for sure. Yeah. Alright, mister, I will see you around. I'm sure I'll continue to get up to date with all the fun stuff. And I can join all the other content creators. And being able to say, I'm up to date in this. I know exactly what's going on. So, alright, mister, you have a good one. Y'all have a good one. Till the next time, this is DtmXploaded. I am Daniel. And I hope this content was joyful. So, good night, good evening.